picture this scenario, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have spent years, I mean, literally years, doing everything you were supposed to do to learn English.
Oh, yeah, the classic struggle.
Exactly. You have the grammar books, you highlight the vocabulary lists, you watch the YouTube tutorials every single day.
You probably even have those colorful sticky notes all over your desk.
Yes, the
Yeah.
sticky notes. And on paper, you know it. You can pass the written test. You know the difference between like past perfect and present continuous.
But this.
Then you step into a meeting at your office, or, you just walk up to a counter at a noisy cafe to order a coffee, and someone asks you a very simple, everyday question in English.
And your brain just completely flatlines, like zero activity.
Total blank. You freeze.
Yeah.
It is so frustrating because you know the words. They are in your head somewhere.
They are definitely in there. But in that exact moment, you just, you stand there in awkward silence.
Right. Or you force out some weird robotic sentence that doesn't sound like you at all. And then, this is the worst part, 10 minutes later, you are walking to your car or taking the metro and boom.
The perfect sentence magically pops into your head.
Yes. It's like, why couldn't I say that 10 minutes ago? It leaves so many people feeling stuck on this endless plateau.
Yeah.
Right, like you were putting in so much hard work, but your actual speaking fluency is just not moving.
And that gap, that huge gap between knowing the rules and actually speaking in real time, that is exactly what we are dissecting today.
Welcome to today's deep dive on the English Podcast channel. I am so excited about this one. We are looking at some amazing source material today, a guide called Breaking the Plateau, Secrets to Mastering English Fluency by Language Guides Aman and Ria.
It is such a good guide. Because it doesn't just say study harder.
No, not at all. Our mission today is to unpack exactly why your English might not be improving.
Yeah.
We're breaking down 5 major traps that so many of you fall into.
Especially learners from a Hindi-speaking background, or really any non-English background. The challenges are so similar.
They really are.
Yeah.
And more importantly, we are going to talk about how to fix these traps. Yeah. So you can finally feel, natural and comfortable when you open your mouth to speak.
Right. And Aman and Ria start with this core idea. It's basically a massive mindset shift. They say the biggest problem is that people treat English like a school subject to be mastered.
Instead of a living skill to be practiced. That is mistake number 1, right? Learning, but not using the language.
Exactly. I want you to think about how we learn in school. History, math, geography. You memorize facts, you take a test, you get marks.
Right, you get a grade out of 100.
Yeah. And our education system, unfortunately, teaches English the exact same way. It grades you on your ability to memorize grammar rules.
But speaking a language isn't like math at all. It is a physical skill.
It really is. It's procedural. Like riding a bicycle or learning to drive a car.
Oh, that's a perfect example. Imagine trying to learn how to drive a car by reading a book.
Right. You buy a book called How to Drive. You memorize where the clutch is, where the brake is. You know exactly what the steering wheel does.
You pass the written test with flying colors.
Exactly. And then I put you in the driver's seat on a busy road in Mumbai or Delhi traffic. What happens?
You would crash immediately. Your brain knows the theory, but your hands and feet have no idea what to do. You would panic.
Because driving is a reflex. It requires practice. Your muscles need to remember it. English is the exact same way. When you only highlight textbooks, you are just hoarding knowledge. You are memorizing the car parts without ever starting the engine.
That is so true. Aman and Ria have this funny analogy in the text. They say buying 10 grammar books but never speaking is like buying really expensive gym equipment.
Oh, I love this one.
Right. You buy the treadmill. You buy the fancy shoes.
Yeah.
The expensive water bottle. You put the treadmill in your bedroom and you expect to get muscles by looking at it.
Without ever actually running. We've all been guilty of that, honestly. The treadmill just becomes a place to hang your wet clothes.
Yes, a very expensive laundry rack. And you can't get fit just by standing near a gym. You have to sweat.
You have to sweat. And in English, sweating means opening your mouth and making sounds, even if they are wrong.
Which perfectly connects to mistake number 5 in the source material. This is a big one. Focusing only on fancy, difficult vocabulary.
Oh, the pressure to sound smart, it's huge.
It is. Because we treat English like a subject, we think we need to use big words to get a good grade in real life. We want to sound like, Shashi Tharoor or an Oxford professor.
Right. We think we need to use words like ubiquitous or plethora when we're just talking to a friend about weekend plans.
Yes. And what happens when you try to do that?
It halts the whole rhythm of the conversation. It sounds completely unnatural. The source text is very clear on this. They say, simple English is powerful English.
Simple English is powerful English. I want everyone listening to really absorb that. You do not need a dictionary in your head to be fluent.
Not at all. Native speakers actually rely on very simple words for almost everything.
Like what? Give me some examples.
Well, think about simple verbs like get, take, make, or do. Native speakers use these constantly.
Oh, right, like phrasal verbs.
Exactly. You don't say, I will awaken and rise from my bed. You just say, I get up.
Right, you don't say, I am procuring a coffee. You say, I'm getting a coffee.
You get over it. You get away with it. You take off. The individual words are so simple, a primary school student knows them. But knowing how to use them naturally, that is true fluency.
That is such a relief to hear, honestly. So if you are listening right now, stop stressing about memorizing big, complicated words. Focus on using simple words perfectly.
Exactly. Mastery doesn't mean knowing the hardest words. It means using the simple words effortlessly.
But, okay, let's be real for a second. We know we need to use simple words. We know we need to treat it like a gym and actually speak.
But there is a massive mental roadblock stopping us.
A huge one. And it's not about intelligence. It's purely psychological. Let's talk about mistake number 2. The fear of making mistakes.
This is the reason why so many learners just stay completely silent.
Yeah. Ahmad and Ria say, every mistake is a lesson. Which sounds great. It sounds like a lovely quote for a poster. But in real life,
In real life, making a mistake feels terrible.
it really does. When you are talking to your boss or a client or even just someone you want to impress, a grammar mistake feels like a disaster. You feel foolish. You worry about what people will think.
Ah, the classic log kekahenge mindset. What will people say?
Exactly. Log kekahenge is the biggest killer of English fluency. We are terrified of being judged.
And there is actual biology behind this fear. It's not just you being shy. When you are stressed or scared of making a mistake, your brain releases a chemical called cortisol.
Okay, cortisol, the stress hormone.
Right. And your brain essentially puts up a stress wall. In linguistics, they call it the affective filter, but think of it as a thick wall in your mind.
So when I get nervous, this wall goes up.
Yes. And it literally blocks your memory. The English words you know are on one side of the wall and you are on the other. You cannot reach them. That is why you freeze.
Wow. So freezing isn't a sign that my English is bad. It's just my brain trying to protect me from social embarrassment.
Exactly. Your brain says, danger. People might laugh at us. Shut down the talking.
That makes so much sense. And because of this fear, because our brain is terrified of making a mistake, it creates a massive bad habit, which is mistake number 3.
The internal translator.
Oh, man. The translation trap. This is when you try to translate everything in your head from your native language like Hindi into English before you speak.
And it completely destroys the natural pace of conversation. The source material has a great rule for this. Think in English, don't translate.
I want to break down exactly why translating in your head feels so exhausting. I like to think of it like a computer crashing.
Oh, that's a great way to look at it. How so?
So imagine your brain is a computer, and someone asks you a question in English. First, your brain hears the English. Then you translate that English into Hindi to understand it.
Right, step 1 and 2.
Then you think of your answer in Hindi. Mujhe ek chahe. Then you try to find the English word for every single Hindi word. Mujhe is I, ek is one, chai is tea, chahe is want.
And then you try to arrange them with English grammar rules.
Yes, you were doing like 6 or 7 mental steps just to say, I want a tea. Your brain's RAM is totally full. It's doing too much processing.
No wonder there are so many awkward pauses. By the time you finally build the perfect sentence in your head and get ready to speak, the other person has already changed the topic.
Exactly. You are always 3 steps behind in the conversation. You are working so hard, but on the outside, you just look confused.
And all that heavy mental work is happening because you are afraid. You are translating because you want the sentence to be 100% perfect.
So the translation trap is caused by the fear of making mistakes. They are connected.
They are completely connected. If you want to stop translating, you have to accept that you are going to make errors. You have to bypass that internal translator.
But wait, let me play devil's advocate here. It is easy for the book to say, think in English. But how do you actually do that? You can't just flip a switch in your brain. My brain naturally thinks in Hindi. How do I stop it?
You can't force it overnight, but you can deliberately lower that stress wall we talked about. You have to give your brain permission to be clumsy.
Permission to be clumsy. I like that.
The source gives some fantastic practical tools for this. They suggest using specific phrases to relieve the pressure of perfection.
Right, I saw those in the text. Phrases like, I'm still learning, or mistakes help me improve.
Exactly. When you actually say to someone, hey, my English isn't perfect, I'm still learning, you are doing something very powerful to your own brain.
It takes the pressure off, right?
Yeah.
Because you've already admitted you aren't perfect.
Yes. You are telling your brain, there is no danger here. No one is expecting us to be a dictionary. The cortisol drops, the stress wall comes down, and suddenly the words flow easier.
That is such a great hack. An imperfect English sentence that you say out loud is 100 times better than a perfect Hindi sentence stuck in your head.
100%. Just let it out. Let it be messy.
Okay, so let's say I am doing this. I've dropped my fear. I'm giving myself permission to make mistakes. I am refusing to translate in my head. But here's my question. If I am not translating, where do the English words come from?
Ah, that is the missing puzzle piece.
Right. If I want to think in English naturally, my brain needs raw material. How do I train my brain to just know what to say?
You have to change its diet. Which brings us to mistake number 4, not listening enough.
Listening. This is so interesting because so many learners say, my listening is fine. I can understand English perfectly. My problem is speaking. So why is listening the solution to a speaking problem?
Because input creates output. You cannot output naturally if you do not have sufficient input. The source says listening is one of the fastest ways to improve.
Fast. How is it fast? It feels passive. It feels like doing nothing.
It looks passive on the outside, but inside, your brain is working incredibly hard. It is learning the music of the language.
The music. I love that phrasing. Because English really does have a rhythm, right?
It does. Think about how we don't just read words from a page. We connect them. Native speakers mash words together. Going to becomes gonna, want to becomes wanna.
Let me becomes like.
Exactly. And you will never, ever learn that from a grammar book. Your brain has to hear it. It has to become familiar with it. Familiarity breeds fluency.
So when I listen to a lot of English-like podcasts, movies, conversations, what is my brain actually doing?
It is doing something called statistical learning. I know it sounds like a fancy science term, but it's actually very simple. Your brain is basically an advanced autocorrect.
Okay, like on my phone keyboard, where it predicts the next word?
Exactly like that. When you listen to massive amounts of natural English, your brain secretly calculates which words usually go together. We call these collocations.
Collocations.
Yeah.
Give me an example of that in real life.
Okay, think about the weather. In English, we say heavy rain. We never say strong rain.
Right, strong rain sounds weird.
But why? Is there a grammar rule that says you can't say strong rain? No, it makes perfect sense. But native speakers just don't say it.
We say fast food, not thick food.
Yes. Another great example. Your brain learns that heavy goes with rain and fast goes with food simply because it has heard those pairs thousands of times in movies, shows, and conversations.
So you don't even have to think about the grammar. The right word just automatically pops up.
Exactly. When you are actually speaking, you don't have time to think adjective plus noun. Your brain just throws the whole chunk of words at you because it's used to hearing them together.
Oh, wow. So if I'm not listening to natural English regularly, my brain's autocorrect is broken. It has no data to work with.
That's it. If you only read textbooks, your brain doesn't have the statistical data of how real people talk. So it forces you to translate from Hindi again.
This is a huge aha moment for me. And honestly, I want to point out something really cool for our listeners right now. By just listening to this deep dive, you are actively doing this.
Yes, you are. You are absorbing our rhythm, our natural phrases, our collocations.
You are doing the exact listening practice Aman and Ria recommend. And it's not boring. You don't have to sit in a quiet room with a textbook. You can watch an interesting English vlog. You can watch a cricket match with English commentary. You can listen to a fun podcast while cooking.
As long as you're listening to something you enjoy and can mostly understand, your brain is doing the heavy lifting in the background. It is literally building the bridge to thinking in English.
Okay, I think this is a perfect time for a quick fun moment. Let's do a rapid-fire game to test this autocorrect theory.
Hi, I love games. Bring it on.
I am going to say a word, and I want you to tell me the first English word that natural pops into your head to complete the phrase. No thinking about grammar, just instinct. Ready?
Ready. Let's do it.
Let's start easy. Make a steak
They break.
or take a shower.
See? You didn't say do a mistake or have a shower. Well, British people might say have a shower, but you instinctively knew make a mistake.
Okay, how about
Yeah.
pay?
Pay attention.
Yes, not give attention, pay attention. One more. Keep a
Secret.
boom. Keep a secret, not hold a secret or save a secret. That is the power of collocations, guys. Your brain just knows what sounds right because of listening.
It's automatic. And that is what fluency feels like. It feels automatic.
I love that. Okay, so we've dismantled so many mistakes today. We know we shouldn't treat English like a math subject. We know we need to stop using big, fancy, shashi Theru words.
We know we need to drop the fear of log hinge.
Yes. Drop the stress wall, stop translating in our heads, and flood our ears with fun, natural listening material. But here's the final, most important piece of the puzzle.
The daily strategy. The roadmap forward.
Right. How do we actually fit this into our busy lives? Aman and Ria talk about a concept in their mini conversation section, the golden rule. Consistency beats intensity.
This is probably the most vital takeaway of the entire framework. Consistency beats intensity.
Break that down for me, because a lot of people think, okay, I'm super motivated today. I'm going to study English for 5 hours on Sunday. I'll watch 3 English movies, write 10 pages, and just cram it all in.
Right, the binge studying method. It feels like you're doing a lot of hard work.
But does it work?
No, it fails completely. And again, it comes back to how the brain builds skills. Binge studying for 5 hours on a Sunday is intensity. But doing just 10 or 15 minutes every single day is consistency.
Why is 15 minutes a day better than 5 hours once a week? 5 hours is way more total time.
It is, but your brain doesn't care about total time. It cares about frequency. Remember, language is a physical neurological skill. To build an automatic reflex, your brain has to physically wire new pathways.
Okay, the brain wiring.
Yes. When you show up every single day, even just for 10 minutes, you are sending a daily signal to your brain. You are telling it, hey, this English stuff is a permanent part of my life now. I need to get good at this to survive.
So the brain actually changes its structure.
It does. It builds stronger, faster neural pathways. But if you only study once a week, by Wednesday, your brain says, oh, we haven't used English in 3 days. I guess it wasn't that important. And it deletes the progress.
Wow. It's exactly like the gym analogy again. If you do 500 push-ups on January 1st and then you don't work out for the rest of the month.
You are not going to get strong. You are just going to be really sore.
Exactly. But if you do just 20 push-ups every single day, your body actually transforms.
A little every day is infinitely better than a lot once a month.
But there is a trap here, isn't there? The psychological trap of daily practice.
Oh, definitely. The plateau illusion.
Right. Because when you practice for just 15 minutes a day, the day-to-day progress is completely invisible.
It is. You practice Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. On Thursday, you still fumble your words at the coffee shop, and you think, this isn't working. I'm wasting my time.
It is so demoralizing. You feel like you're stuck on that plateau we talked about at the beginning.
But the source has a really comforting quote for this exact moment. They say, your English is improving even if you can't see it yet.
I really want people to believe that. It is improving even if you can't see it.
Think of it like planting a seed in the ground. You water it every day. For weeks, you look at the dirt and you see absolutely nothing.
Right, just dirt.
But underground, that seed is building a massive, complex root system. It's doing so much invisible work. And then one day, a little green shoot pops up, and suddenly it grows huge.
The plateau is just the root building phase. Your brain is doing the invisible work.
Yes. It's calculating the statistical patterns. It's building the muscle memory. You just have to trust the process.
And to help us trust the process, the source gives us a really powerful vocabulary shift. We have all grown up with this famous saying, practice makes perfect.
Which is actually a terrible saying for language learners.
It really is. I used to say it all the time. But the text says we need to change it too. Practice makes progress.
Practice makes progress. I love that so much.
Me too. Because perfection is a trap. Perfection is what makes your stress wall go up. Perfection demands that you translate in your head. Perfection makes you stay silent.
But progress is forgiving.
Exactly. Progress just means, did I learn one new collocation today? Did I speak one sentence without translating? You don't need perfect English. You just need to keep showing up.
You strip away the paralyzing standard and you replace it with an actionable verb. Just show up. Just practice.
This has been such an incredible deep dive. We have covered so much ground today. Let's do a quick, energetic recap for everyone listening.
Sounds good.
First, stop treating English like a math subject. Drop the heavy grammar books. English is a skill, like driving a car. You have to actually use it.
Second, let go of the pressure to use big, fancy words. Simple English is powerful English. Phrasal verbs are your best friend.
Third, embrace your mistakes as lessons. Forget log kaya kahench. Lower that stress wall so your brain can actually access the words you know.
Fourth, stop translating in your head. The internal translator will always keep you 3 steps behind in a conversation.
Fifth, if you want to stop translating, you have to listen more. Soak up podcasts, movies, vlogs. Let your brain's autocorrect learn the natural collocations of the language.
And finally, trade intense cramming sessions for simple daily habits. 15 minutes a day. Consistency beats intensity. Practice makes progress, not perfect.
Perfect recap. Now, to wrap up, Aman and Ria end their guide with a really cool technique. They turn the focus directly onto the reader, or in our case, the listener, with audience practice questions.
It's a moment of reflection, a challenge.
Yes, and I want to leave you, the listener, with this challenge right now. Think about everything we just talked about, the psychology, the habits, the translation trap.
Ask yourself honestly, why do you think your English isn't improving? Which of these 5 mistakes is your biggest trap?
Is it the fear of mistakes? Is it not listening enough? Identify your biggest challenge, and most importantly, what are you going to do differently starting today?
Are you going to listen to an English podcast for 10 minutes on your way to work instead of scrolling social media?
Are you going to proudly say, I'm still learning, the next time you feel nervous speaking? Whatever it is, take action.
Trust the root building phase. Your English is improving.
Just keep showing up, put the grammar book down, step onto the field, and embrace the clumsy mistakes. You've got this.
Keep speaking. Keep practicing.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. We will see you next time.